Once upon a time, nestled in a small, windswept seaside town, lived a merchant named Felix. Now, Felix wasn't just any merchant, he had a love, a deep, abiding passion for money. It was the first thing he thought of in the morning and the last thing he dreamed of at night. Every single day, you'd find him at his market stall, hawking his wares, his mind constantly crunching numbers, fantasizing about the day he would finally become the richest man in the entire town. His ambition was a fire that burned brighter than the morning sun. One crisp morning, as Felix was taking his usual walk along the shore, the salty air filling his lungs, his sharp eyes caught a glint of something extraordinary. There, tangled in a fisherman's forgotten net, was a fish unlike any he had ever seen. It shimmered and shone with the brilliance of pure, polished gold. As he leaned in, utterly mesmerized, the little fish opened its mouth and spoke in a voice that sounded like tiny bells chiming. "Kind sir," it pleaded, "please, I beg you, set me free. If you do, I will grant you one wish, anything your heart desires." Felix's eyes, which were already wide with fascination, nearly popped out of his head. One wish, his mind, usually a whirlwind of calculations and profit margins, went into overdrive. He could wish for a bigger house, a fleet of ships, a mountain of jewels. After a moment that felt like an eternity, a cunning smile spread across his face. He knew exactly what he wanted. "I wish," he declared, his voice trembling with anticipation, "for a grand chest, filled to the very brim with gold coins." The golden fish simply nodded its head, and with a flick of its magnificent tail, it vanished back into the deep blue sea. Felix practically flew back home, his heart pounding a frantic rhythm against his ribs. Could it be true? Had his wildest dream just come to pass? He burst through his front door, and there, in the middle of his humble living room, stood a large, ornate chest. He cautiously lifted the heavy lid, and his breath caught in his throat. It was overflowing with gleaming, shining, beautiful gold coins. He was ecstatic, overjoyed, delirious with happiness. He ran his hands through the treasure, letting the coins cascade through his fingers, the metallic clinking the sweetest music he had ever heard. He was rich. But a funny thing happened. The initial wave of euphoria soon gave way to a familiar, gnawing feeling: greed. One chest was wonderful, but why stop at one? He thought of all the things he could buy with 10 chests, or 100. The single chest suddenly seemed small, almost insignificant. His newfound wealth wasn't enough, he needed more. Driven by this insatiable hunger, he bolted from his house and raced back to the very spot on the shore where he had met the fish. "Golden fish! Golden fish!" he bellowed, his voice raw with demand. "Come out. 1 chest is not enough. I want 10 chests of gold, and I want them now." As he shouted, the sky began to darken. The calm, gentle waves churned into a furious, stormy rage, crashing against the sand. From the tumultuous water, the golden fish emerged, its brilliant scales now seeming to glow with an ethereal, almost stern light. Its voice, no longer like chiming bells, was calm and deep, echoing over the roar of the sea. "Greed has no end, Felix," it said, its words cutting through the wind. "Be content with what you have." And with that final, solemn warning, the fish disappeared beneath the waves, this time for good. A cold dread washed over Felix. He turned and sprinted back home, a terrible premonition gripping his heart. He threw open his door, his eyes darting to the spot where his treasure had been. The chest was still there, but as he looked inside, a horrified gasp escaped his lips. All the beautiful, shining gold coins had vanished. In their place was nothing but a pile of dull, ordinary stones. Felix collapsed to the floor, his body shaking with bitter, regretful sobs. He wept for the fortune he had gained and so foolishly lost, finally understanding that his own insatiable greed had taken everything away from him, leaving him with nothing but a heavy heart and a pile of worthless rocks. The story of Felix and the golden fish teaches us a simple but powerful lesson. True wealth isn't about having more, but about appreciating what you already have. Greed is a bottomless pit that can swallow everything you hold dear. If you enjoyed this story and the lesson it holds, please show some love by hitting that like button. And don't forget to subscribe and ring the notification bell so you won't miss our next tale. We'd love to hear from you, so please drop a comment below and let us know what story you'd like us to bring to life next. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.